Hello again, I am Blunty. Last year, I took a look at the Rayneo Air 2, a set of 120Hz OLED XR glasses, amongst the first such devices to really focus on highlighting gamer use alongside excellent personal cinema, TV, movie type nerd use cases. Now, I get to show you the Rayneo Air 2S XR glasses. As you might imagine from the naming scheme, these are very much like their predecessor, but even further refined. Literally everything has been made better. Now, this is a sponsored video, not a full review, but as always is the case with me, I have a no BS policy, so everything here is still, what I actually think, based on my own personal use of the glasses, and nothing here was written by anyone but me. So, at a glance, they look very, very similar to the previous model, of course, but the engineering on the Air 2S means a noticeably improved comfort. Not that the previous model was uncomfortable, it was in fact surprisingly comfortable. I think I said that in the original video, but these are better still. They feel lighter despite being exactly the same weight, 76 grams, as the other model, but they have a better balance somehow. I don't know exactly what they did, but they feel better when you put them on. I'm not completely sure what they did, but even the nose bridge piece here, even that just sits way more comfortably and lighter, and just, they've got a clever multi-position arm adjustment to help you with comfort and fit as well. And sound quality from the built-in speakers too. 4 full-range speakers in the arms and some secret sauce Rayneo technology have given these a more pronounced and deeper bass sound, and have a high volume to boot. It's really quite nice. They even have a whisper mode, so if you're watching in the room with other people, you can use the whisper mode. Makes it less likely for bleed to happen and bothering other people. Works remarkably well, actually. Out of all the improvements, the thing I noticed immediately, the very first time I put them on, was the display. They've tweaked the optics and software engine. Again, some magic secret sauce engineering stuff. I don't care. What I do know is they deliver a noticeable boost in edge-to-edge clarity. So the effects of having what they measure as a 201-inch screen as viewed from 6 meters away is better than ever. Unfortunately, the nature of how this all works makes it really hard for me to show you what I'm telling you about, or even let you hear it, because, recording the speakers with a microphone or trying to get cameras to see through the lenses to show you the micro OLED screens in here, it just doesn't work that well. It won't do it justice. Rayneo did supply me with a couple of audio examples for comparison's sake, and while they're obviously been done in a very controlled circumstance and very carefully produced, it is actually a fairly decent representation of the changes in the sound from the old model to this model. So here, I'll play them for you.
Move your bodies just like toys. Move your bodies just like toys.
Right? Now, the biggest win here, though, is once again the 120Hz micro OLED panels in use. You've got 10 levels of brightness available, controlled directly through a little button on the arm there, or a pair of rocker buttons, actually, and it'll amp all the way up to 600 nits, meaning outdoor use is very, very practical. And remember, that's 600 nits on a teeny little screen, like right near your eye, so it doesn't sound as bright as sort of a desktop monitor might with 1,000 nits. Believe me, it's bright enough. And 3 selectable color profile modes. You get native 1080p to each eye, so each eye has a 1080p screen essentially for 2D mode, and a 3840 by 1080 for 3D content, which looks great, by the way. If all you've seen of 3D movies and whatnot so far is things like 3D TVs or at the cinema where they give you those polarized glasses, seriously, do not underestimate how much of a clarity and fluidity and just overall experience improvement having literally separate screens for each eye's perspective provides you. It is the way to see 3D content. Same praise that I give 3D movie watching in VR headsets for exactly the same reason. Each eye gets a separate image. There's no flipping. There's no polarization. It's clean. But because the screens here are not stretched across a huge field of view like they are in VR headsets, the resolution here is perceptibly much higher. Put it in numbers for you. The average VR headset has a PPD, or pixels per degree. How many pixels per degree of vision, you see? The VR headsets have usually somewhere in the mid-20s. Some get a little bit higher in the 20s, which is really nice. This, though, has a PPD of 49, and it's a very noticeable difference in viewing clarity. So, Input-wise, it's an industry standard USB-C display port right on the end of the arm there, so the cable just trails nicely down the back. It connects to basically anything then that shares that standard, and it is a very common standard. Like my ROG Ally handheld gaming device, really great for playing on that. Pretty much any modern phone will do it, PCs, Macs, whatever. Along with the Air S2s Rayneo sent me for this video, they also sent me their new Pocket TV, which is basically just a Google TV device and remote and battery all in one. Perfect for pairing up with the glasses. And it means super easy access to every major streaming service, whatever home server you might run for your own content, wink wink, and some onboard memory for storing stuff for local files and whatnot, even a micro SD card slot for even more storage. You can expect about 5.5 hours of battery life out of it, and it has 32 gigabytes of onboard storage. And I'll tell you right now, the next time I travel, this pair is coming with me because as far as viewing media on the go when you're traveling, nothing I've ever tried so far works as nicely as these two together. Now, of course, just like I showed you with the previous model of these glasses, you can also use it with devices that don't necessarily natively support USB-C DisplayPort. Those of you who saw the last video might remember the Joy Dock I showed off last time, a backup battery and adapter for the glasses all in one, bespoke engineered for the Nintendo Switch, but also handy for basically anything else that does HDMI over USB-C, which is what the Switch does. And the gaming use case really is where this really shines, especially with the improvements to the optics and the boosted clarity and the boosted edge-to-edge sharpness, all of that sort of stuff. I mean, honestly, what's not to like about this? Great big personal screen anywhere, anytime, 1080p native, 120 Hz refresh rate. I've had my time with several different options for personal screens from different kinds of wearables, VR headsets and XR glasses and whatnot, and this really honestly is the best experience, comfort, convenience, ease of travel, simplicity of use, and certainly not least the clarity and the brightness and the refresh rate and the edge-to-edge sharpness that I've just been talking about, and value. So, if you were still on the fence about previous products and were waiting for some more refinements to come along, well, it's here now. It's time. These are even better, more comfortable, more convenient than ever before for gaming and media consumption. Goodbye to squinting at your phone while you're sitting on the bus or whatever, and hello to relaxed, personal, big screen, anywhere, everywhere, anytime, every time. I mean, come on. So, that's that. Hopefully, I've told you everything you need to know about it. Thank you to Rayneo for the sponsorship, and well done on making yet another really nice device. A nice refinement there too. Oh, and I almost forgot, by the way, just before we go, if you do wear prescription lenses, as indeed I do, although my stigmatism is quite mild, so I can use these without my lenses, but they do actually supply you with a little clip-on lens attachment thing, which you can take to an optometrist and get them with your specific prescription, or you can order at some online places, the types of places that do bespoke prescription lenses for VR headsets. They will also do bespoke prescriptions for these too. So you just send them a prescription, they send you out the thing, and you just magnetically clips on the inside, and you're good to go. So yeah, thanks for watching. I am Blunty. I will catch you next time. Thank you, as always, to the patrons scrolling up above there. Seriously, I don't know what they did to these, but they really are just noticeably more comfortable than the old ones. I thought the old ones were really good, but these ones are just better. Just weird, man. They're clever, I think, these engineers from Rayneo.